impact of inflation. So our next topic, that is impact of inflation. Now if you see the impact of inflation, now here you will see that first of all, okay, when we talk about impact, so first impact is on household. So when we talk about household, I am talking about those people who earn fixed income. Okay, now there can be possibility that any person is earning 1 crore per annum, that is a fixed income. But I am not talking about those persons. So when I am talking fixed income, it means a person who is earning minimum wages. Okay, minimum wages. Minimum wages as a fixed income. So minimum wage, basically I am talking about a person who is earning up to, you can say 30,000 to 4,000, 30,000 to 40,000 per month. I am talking about that. Okay, that is a person who is earning up to. Okay, so it can be less than or maximum this. Now whenever inflation is there, so when I am saying inflation means whenever moderate level of inflation is there. Okay, whenever moderate level of inflation is there, so no doubt these are the people who get impacted. So these are the people who get impacted the most. Okay, so ultimately these are the people who get impacted most. So you can understand in this way. For example, if a person is earning 20,000 per month, now out of 20,000, some amount he is spending on essential item. For example, 12,000 he is spending on essential item and 8,000 he is saving. Okay, 8,000 he is saving. So this is the condition when inflation was not there, or you can say when creeping inflation was there. Okay, so when creeping inflation was there, so in that scenario, a person was earning, for example, 20,000, and out of 20,000, 12,000 he is spending on essential item and 8,000 he is saving. Okay, now when moderate level of inflation is there, so it means his expenditure on essential item will increase. So you can say in the same amount, or you can say for purchasing the same quantity of product, he has to spend more. So you can say purchasing power. Okay, purchasing power get affected. Okay, so ultimately to purchase the same amount or same quantity, not same amount, same quantity, earlier he was spending 12,000 when creeping inflation was there, but when moderate level of inflation was there, he started spending more. Okay, that is 15,000. So it means it has impacted the household, and that is fixed income people. So we are talking about moderate level of inflation. But whenever there is high level of inflation, whenever there is high level of inflation, it will impact everyone. Okay, it will impact every household. Okay, so in that case, if person is earning 5 lakh per month also, that will also impact it. Okay, so whenever there is high level of inflation, so it will impact every household. So we'll talk about that only. So right now, remember that moderate level of inflation will impact fixed income people, means those who are getting this much. Okay, so in this you can see that who comes, construction workers, senior citizens, those who are getting pension, senior citizens, those who are getting pension, students, those who are getting pocket money, or you can say internship. Okay, plus you can say gig workers. So these are the one who get impacted. Okay, these are the one who get impacted. Is it clear? Is it clear to everyone? Okay, so these are the one who get impacted. Clear? Moving further. Okay, moving further. Now, as I told you that they have to spend more money. Okay, they have to spend more money over what? They have to spend more money over, you can say, essential items, but their income is constant. Okay, so like 20,000 earlier, out of 20,000, 12,000 were spent, 15,000 were out of 20,000 earlier, 12,000 were spent, but when inflation is there, moderate level, 15,000 spent. So we can say next impact will be that their saving, okay, saving rate will also reduce. Okay, so right. Okay, so you must also remember that inflation is also responsible for reducing the saving rate. Okay, reducing the saving rate. So as I told you that earlier, these people were, when inflation was not there or when creeping inflation was there, so they were saving more. But as moderate level of inflation will be there, then they will be, or you can say now they are saving less. So saving rate will be reduced. Okay, and when there will be high level of inflation, whenever there is high level of inflation, so it means high level means runaway and hyperinflation. So in that scenario, there will be withdrawal. There will be withdrawal of savings. Okay, there will be withdrawal of savings. Okay, so this is what you have to understood, that reducing saving rate, and third is withdrawal of savings. So remember that this is the condition under, moderate level of inflation. So please understand it carefully. Why? Because question used to come from this UPSC favorite topic, impact of inflation. Okay, so moderate level pay, reduction in the saving rate, and here withdrawal of savings. Okay, now fourth, if you see, whenever there is a moderate level of inflation, so ultimately degree of inflation matters. Ki we are talking about moderate level or high level. Whenever there is moderate level of inflation, so in that case you will see that borrowers are happy, means the one who has taken a borrowing from any source, they are happy, means they benefit from inflation, whereas the one that is lender, okay, that is lender are unhappy. Okay, now why borrowers are happy? Why? Because if suppose you can understand in this way, like before inflation, you know that when inflation was not there, repo rate was less, and when repo rate was less, it means lending rate of the banks were also less. When this is the situation and you have taken loan at that time for example for 5 years, okay, and in next 2 years inflation is there, okay, so no doubt lending rate will increase, but you are lucky or you are happy. Why? Because at when the lending rate has increased, at that time you are paying less lending rate. Okay, now some of the student has asked me one doubt also, like sir, whenever we increase the repo rate, no doubt deposit rate increase. So whatever deposits you have in the bank, you will get more deposit rate over that. Okay, similarly whenever repo rate increase, no doubt lending rate will increase, but lending rate will increase for those people who are now trying to take loan, means new loans. But whatever earlier loans you have taken, okay, for that lending rate remain the earlier one. Okay, so at the time when you have taken loan, so it will remain that only. Okay, provided sometimes banks will give you loan as per this key, we will give you loan at flexible rate of interest. Okay, flexible rate of interest, then you have impact. But normally when you go to the bank, you take a fixed loan at fixed rate of interest. Okay, fixed rate of interest. That is why borrower are happy that I have taken loan at that time when loans are at less rate. So aap dekhoge in future, if RBI reduce the repo rate, that is monetary policy committee reduce the repo rate, no doubt lending rate will also reduce. So ultimately you will see that banks will give more loans to the people. Okay, why? Because people are also interested to take loan. Why? Because lending rate has reduced with reduction in repo rate. But if in future further repo rate is increased, so that repo rate will increase for new loans, not for the past loans. Okay, so that is why borrower is happy that the real value of currency for me get decreased. Okay, whereas lender is unhappy. Okay, lender is unhappy. I hope this point is clear to you. I hope this point is clear to you. Please tell me. Please tell me this point is clear to you. Okay. 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 So this is about, you can say, borrower and lender. Now ultimately, whenever there is moderate level of inflation, although remember that whenever high level of inflation is there, both borrower and lender both are not happy. Okay, so we are talking about moderate level. Okay, so whenever, now you understood what is moderate level. Moderate level is your trotting and galloping inflation I am talking about. Okay, so whenever moderate level of inflation is there, okay, no doubt it benefits, large farmer and businessman. Okay, okay, so you can write like this: large farmer and businessman. Now large farmer and large businessman I am talking about. Okay, so I am not talking about small. So you can understand in this way this point. Now for example, you purchased, or you are a businessman, you purchase some product or some raw material, in bulk, during creeping inflation, for example, in, you can say, for example, x rupees. Okay, for example, x rupees. Okay, whereas your competitor, okay, also purchase this product, that is raw material. Okay, your rival company, you can say, also purchase the raw material. So you purchase in creeping inflation, your competitor purchase the product, okay, during, you can say, raw material, when there is moderate level of inflation, when there is moderate level of inflation, for example, x plus y rupees. Now when this is the situation, okay, now when this is the situation, x or x plus y, so ultimately you both are selling at same price. Okay, you both are selling at same price. Okay, that is z rupees. Now you will see that due to inflation you both increase the price at z rupees, but you purchase raw material at less prices. Okay, at less prices, so it means your profit margin is more. Similarly, their profit margin get reduced. Okay, reduced. So he is the large businessman and he is the small businessman. Okay, so he gets money, purchase raw material, produce the product. He purchased raw material in bulk and then produce the product. So during inflation, he take the advantage. Okay, he take the advantage. So this is why large businessmen and large farmers, for them it is always, you can say, moderate level of inflation is the opportunity to earn profit. Clear? Is it clear to you? Everyone? Okay. So please tell me, is it clear to you? Okay, please tell me in comment section. Okay. Okay, very good. Clear? So this is what you have to understand. So that is why it benefit large businessmen. Now next, if you see, whenever there is, you can say, either your moderate level of inflation or high level of inflation, whenever there is moderate level of inflation or high level of inflation, in any case, you will see that government of India's fiscal deficit Government of India fiscal deficit will increase. Okay, so this is the another point that you have to remember, that Government of India's fiscal deficit will increase. Clear? So government fiscal deficit will increase. Next, number 7. Okay, number 7 point. Okay, next you will see that whenever there is moderate level of inflation or high level of inflation, whenever there is moderate plus high level of inflation, anyone, so no doubt it impact the current country's exchange rate, or I'll say that our currency will get depreciated. Okay, or Indian currency will get depreciate. Okay, or depreciation of Indian currency. Now why it happens? So we'll talk about this thing in balance of payment chapter, which we'll do after day after tomorrow, I think. Okay, so there we'll talk about that. Okay, so currency will depreciate. Okay, so there will be depreciation of Indian currency. Okay, so this is what you have to remember with respect to impact. Next, if you see, now whenever there is a moderate level of inflation, okay, whenever there is a moderate level of inflation, okay, whenever there is a moderate level of inflation, no doubt that moderate level of inflation is responsible for, okay, moderate level of inflation, okay, is responsible for reducing you can say employment generation, or you can say no new employment will be generated at moderate level of inflation. Okay, so you can say no new, I am focusing on what? New employment generation. So when I am saying no new moderate, or you can say new employment generation will be there, means fresher will not get the opportunity to get the job. So means those who are already working, or you can say existing employees, they will only work. So no new employment that time. But if there is high level of inflation, but whenever there is high level of inflation, you will see that the existing employees, means those who are already working, they get unemployed. Okay, so you can say layoff. Okay, you can say layoff. Okay, layoff. Clear? I am not talking about layoff of the startups. Okay, because there you can say some other reason are there, but I am talking about if situation is of high inflation, so then layoff. So overall you can say either it is moderate or high level that is responsible for increasing unemployment. Increasing unemployment. Clear? Next, if you see, next point, if you see that whenever there is inflation, that is both moderate or anyone, that is moderate as well as high level, no doubt in that situation you can say production in factories, okay, production of you can say goods and services, will decrease. Okay, and when this production will decrease, it means there will be reduction in GDP. Okay, so you can say GDP will reduce. Okay, GDP will reduce. So this is what you have to understand. Okay, so GDP will reduce. Why production will reduce? Okay, why there is a reduction in production? The answer is simple, because due to inflation, even it is moderate or high level, you, or you can say if you are a producer of a company, you will not purchase raw material at high prices, because if you purchase raw material at high prices, it means your cost of production will increase, and in future if prices will get reduced, okay, then whatever you produce during the inflation time period by purchasing the product at high cost, no one is going to purchase it. Okay, no one is going to purchase that item. So that is why you reduce your production of goods and services. Okay, and that will be further responsible for GDP. Okay, that will be further responsible for reduction in GDP. So we can say there are two terms. One is slowdown and another is recession. So slowdown is reduction in growth rate. Reduction in growth rate, whereas recession is when your growth is in negative for continuously 2 quarters. Don't think any other quarter. Okay, so negative for 2 quarters. Clear? Clear? Okay. Clear? Okay, is it clear to everyone? Okay. Any doubt till here? So this is what you can understand. The next impact is GDP, and ultimately no doubt whenever inflation is there, moderate or high level, investment rate, saving rate, all these things will reduce, as well as poverty will increase, inequality will also increase. Okay, so other impacts are, okay, so I will summarize the other impacts. So other impacts are that it is going to you can say reduce. Already we have seen that saving rates will reduce or savings will reduce, investment will reduce, that is investment rate will reduce, poverty will increase, and ultimately inequality will also increase. Clear? So these are the things that you have to remember. Clear? Okay. Clear? So this is what you have to remember with respect to, you can say, moderate or impact of inflation. So you can expect, or if you see the previous year question PYQs, so there you can see that they have asked a question on the impact portion. Clear?